Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still with our special coverage here on Al TV International on the Turkish Foreign Minister's visit to Egypt. And now we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by His Excellency Ambassador Ayman Musharrafah, the former Assistant to Foreign Minister. It's a very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon to you and the audience.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for joining us. And of course, today President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the Turkish Foreign Minister in attendance of the Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati, and the meeting witnessed a mutual stress on the importance of, dealing with regional issues, specifically the situation in the Gaza Strip. How do you see the talks today related to the escalation and the developments in Gaza, sir?
Well, there is continuous consultation and exchange of views between Egypt and Turkey as the most important and the pillars of the policy making in the Middle East. We have an ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, originating from 2 years, and we have a similar position. Egypt and Turkey, we asked several times the cease of hostility and unconditional ceasefire and the opening of humanitarian corridors and the distribution of food without prejudice and without preconditions. That's the position that we are sharing with our Turkish counterparts. So that's in a nutshell our position in Gaza. We hailed the international community to put the maximum pressure on the Israelis to stop the ongoing genocide in Gaza.
Indeed, Mr. Ambassador. Now, speaking of the international community, nations around the whole world have condemned the Israeli cabinet's plan to seize full control of Gaza City, saying it will only worsen the conflict and lead to more unrest and bloodshed in the region. Even the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said this was a dangerous plan of escalation. How do you see, Mr. Ambassador, the comments done by several leaders all around the world? Right, we seem to have a technical problem with our phone lines. A short break and hopefully we'll have His Excellency back on the line. Stay tuned. Right, we have His Excellency Ambassador Ayman Musharrafah back on the line once again. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. And I was just asking you about the international community's response. We have seen comments by many countries all over the world saying that the Israeli plan to seize full control of Gaza City will only worsen the conflict and lead to more bloodshed. And the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said this was a dangerous escalation which risked worsening conditions for ordinary Palestinians and people in the region as a whole. How do you see these comments, Your Excellency?
Of course, this is against the international law and against the two-state solution.
Yes.
With this decision, the Israeli cabinet wants to terminate the two-state solution in seizing the Gaza Strip and governing directly the Gaza Strip. So this is a unilateral decision which is against the international law, and Israel is acting like a pariah state, unfortunately. And the international community should go swiftly and not only condemning but acting against the state of Israel and impose the maximum sanction and maximum condemnation on this decision.
Absolutely, Mr. Ambassador. And the United Nations Security Council is expected to meet Saturday to discuss the situation in the Middle East according to a schedule that was released late Friday. The Israeli Security Cabinet, after they announced an approved plan to take control of Gaza City. How do you see this meeting? What are your expectations out of the communique of today's meeting, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, I do have no expectation on the Security Council. The Security Council is, of course, the main organ of the United Nations, which is confronting any aggression and maintaining peace and security and order and enforce it. But unfortunately, always the United States use the veto right to thwart any swift decision of the international community. I do hope that this time the U.S. government will not use the veto right and will let the international community express their point of view and express their solidarity with the Palestinian people, and to condemn swiftly and clearly this annexation.
Indeed, Mr. Ambassador. Now, today as well, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdulati, alongside his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan, discussed some of the most important issues related to the developments in the region, and they discussed how they both denounce, Egypt and Turkey denounce the Israeli decision to control the Gaza Strip and the rejection of any attempt to forcibly displace the Palestinians. Other issues were also discussed during their meeting, including the situation in Syria, Libya, as well as Sudan, and the support of the unity and sovereignty of these countries. How do you see the talks between the two foreign ministers today, specifically related to all the hot issues related to the Middle East zone?
Of course, Turkey is an important player in Syria,
yes,
and we do have a common position to uphold the unity of Syria and to help the Syrian government to make the Syrian state functionable again, and in the same time to uproot the terror and the terrorist organization from Syria. Egypt and Turkey have a common position of returning Syria as an important player and an important number in the Middle East politics. Concerning Libya, we have a common concern, and we have the same point of view that we should form a government, and this government will call for a simultaneous election, presidential and municipal elections and parliamentary elections,
yes,
to build a functionable state and to glue Libya together. Again, in Sudan too, we have condemned the ongoing civil war on Sudan, and we have similar point of view. You know, we are caring about the stability in
yes,
the region, because Egypt and Turkey are important power, and they could contribute in helping all the neighboring states in the area, since we are living in a circle of fire, to find peace and security.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Ambassador, finally, before I let you go, just to discuss some of the bilateral ties between Egypt and Turkey. Lots of discussions happened today between the two foreign ministers, discussing their need and will to further achieve more remarkable economic cooperation between the two countries and achieve an increase in trade exchange, rising it from $9 billion to $15 billion. And the Turkish foreign minister spoke about the Egyptian government's efforts and the infrastructural developments witnessed in the country, which further encourage Turkish investors to come to Egypt as well as invest. How important do you see this side of the meeting today, Your Excellency?
Of course, we have a very good bilateral commercial relation with Turkey, and as you said, there is a trade balance of $9 billion, and we do hope it will double in 5 years. And Turkey has a plan of building 500 industrial factories to help the Turkish industry to be in Egypt, so they could export to the African market, since Egypt is a signatory of the COMESA agreement and the African Pan Free Trade Agreement. And it could give a boost to the Turkish industry,
yes,
which is in Egypt, to be a springboard for Turkish export into the African market.
Absolutely.
And we do hope that we will have increase in the Turkish tourism. We do have a lot of increase of Turkish tourists coming to Egypt and Egyptian tourists going to Istanbul. This exchange of tourism is a sign of a good relation and a brotherly relation between both countries. That plus, of course, the long-standing historical and cultural relation between the two countries.
Absolutely. On that note, I'd like to thank you very, very much, Your Excellency Ambassador Ayman Musharrafah, the former Assistant to the Foreign Minister. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your insight and for joining us this afternoon on Now TV International.